So for the first time in 28 years, the mayor of Miami gets elected and it's a Democrat. And people are like, where are the Republicans? Why didn't they show up? Why would they show up, bro? Where's the Epstein list? Where is the accountability for COVID? And the scam that happened to all Americans, where the big corporations got bigger and the mom and pop shops had to close, where they literally shut down the truth about medications that were helping people and watched them die. What about justice for the people that were mandatorily required to get the vaccine? They got it, and now they're having heart issues because they're DMing me all the time. Some of them 1 foot in the grave. Where's the accountability for the freaking Russiagate scandal, where the actual president of the United States plotted and told the mainstream media to go along with it while they lied to everybody and tried to subvert the will of the American public by making everybody think that Trump was involved with Russia? Where's the accountability? I'm glad Trump sealed the border, but we're having slower deportation rates than Obama did. And at this pace, it's not going to put a dent in it. How's your guys' grocery bills, by the way? Way lower? Mine aren't. My gas is down 40 cents. Neat. Everything else, still shit. Now, it's only been a year, Ross. You got to give these things time. We don't have any time, bro. Do you know how fast the Democrats move when they're actually in power to flush everything down? They don't ask permission before they implode the country. They ask forgiveness. But except they don't actually ask for forgiveness because nobody even tells them anything about it because none of them are being held accountable, bro. They just seem to magically get away with it. Where's the accountability? Why would Republicans show up to vote? They should, because the last thing we want is to see what's going to happen if they don't. But it's starting to feel like the two wings of the same bird thing. Like, bro, you shot all the people that we like. Rand Paul, Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene. These people at least said stuff that we're thinking. And Trump hates them to death and loves Lindsey Graham? What? The dude who nonstop desires to go to war? It's hard to care about politics. The only thing I can tell people to do is to get really proficient at business and get proficient at using social media for business, because at least you can make progress in this category. And I'd love to help you do it. I take people by the hand and show them how to become successful at social media and successful at the business side of social media so that you can actually grow. Links in the bio. I'd love to help you. But honestly, that's the basket I put my eggs in now, is how do I become independently successful so that regardless of how stupid the leadership is, I'm capable of thriving. And I'm in a position now where I think you should be doing the same thing, dude. Yeah, get out there and vote, because the alternative is terrible if you don't. But at the same time, call these people out and tell them that we demand a certain amount of accountability. And if we don't get it, that only leaves us one option, bro. And nobody wants to see that.
All right, we're in the swamp, if you can call this a swamp. I've never seen it this dry before. We haven't had any rain here in Florida in a while. Believe it or not, I got mosquitoes buzzing me. And I'm going to tell you, it's going down into the 50s, 40s, sometimes 30s. How in the hell are the mosquitoes? I tell you what, nothing kills a mosquito, does it? But I just wanted to get a scenery video on this. Look. I bet I could hike right through the swamp. That's insane. So we're at Marshall Swamp, and anyway, we'll get into the video with my ugly mug. But I just wanted, look, completely dry. Usually this trail is muddy. Usually there's water in there. We're gonna come up on a bridge here shortly, and then we'll start the video. Look. I could literally hike right through there, I think. I'm not going to do it. I'll stay on the trail. This is what the trail looks like here in Marshall Swamp. Luckily, there's not too many mosquitoes. I didn't have to wear bug netting, but I had to show you this. Crazy. Oh, yeah, they're still buzzing. They're still buzzing me. Hold on. Let's get onto the bridge. All right, so we're going to get into the video here in just a second. There's no water. None. If you've watched any of my previous videos, I guess well, at least now I know how deep it is. It ain't all that deep, huh? Let's look at the other side. Look at here. Well, you can see the water level. Normally it's up on that tree right about there. That's crazy. I've never seen it so dry. Well, I knew it'd be a good time to come down here and hike in the swamp. All right, let's get into the video. All right, hold on. Watching the world burn, watching the world burn. December 17th, 2025. Not often I get to make a video 2 days in a row. Had to do a pickup at Walmart. You don't think there's inflation? I'm just one dude, man. I don't know how if you have a family that you're affording things. I couldn't believe the prices. I try to buy somewhat healthy. Most of it's organic, or, if you can believe the organic label. Now that Kennedy's up there, maybe he's making that mean something. We can all pray. So tonight, I don't know when I'll get this video up. Tonight, Trump may be announcing that we're going to war with Venezuela. That's, boy, I tell you what, I'm glad I'm not a Marine on one of those ships, because if they do actually land on shore, I don't think they're going to survive very long. not in the mountainous terrains and the huge size of Venezuela. I mean, Venezuela is going to make Vietnam look like a cakewalk. But we'll see. Maybe Trump's just going to talk about what a great job he's done. But didn't you love that video up front? A lot of people on X are posting videos like that. Oh, by the way, I posted the video yesterday. The song Trump Don't Care, it's up to about 600 impressions, so it wasn't totally censored. I guess it just took some time to to get going. Who knows? But I guess that's the big story. Now, Tucker Carlson, I watched the interview. He just had his interview. If you didn't know, it's getting kind of late in the day. I'm going to have to turn around here pretty quick. I'm in the Marshall Swamp here, like I said. And anyway, they had a good conversation. I encourage you to watch the video. But Tucker did come out with the revelation that he had heard it from a congressman that Trump is going to declare war on Venezuela. Now, do you have a problem with that? I have a problem with that. I think Congress just don't exist no more, does it? I mean, they're just feckless, lunatic fools that are up there just to grift and profit off of the American people and it seems at this point they've relegated all their power to the executive branch, whether it be Joe Biden or Donald J. Trump, whoever's in power at the executive branch. I guess you could look at Marco Rubio or Susie Wiles. They seem to be ruling the nation at this point. I guess the Constitution don't mean anything anymore. That the President of the United States can just declare war, being the supreme king, and I remember no kings. Being the king of the United States, he could just declare war on whoever he wants. I have a slight problem with that. I like Donald Trump. I think he's done some good things, but I don't agree with this. Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to turn around. We're getting deep down in here. If you can't tell, it's getting really dark. I don't want to be down here in the swamp, even though it's dry, in the dark. So we'll turn around. That is a cool looking stump right there. Anyway, I'll get some scenery pics on the way back. We'll talk about some other news as I think of it. Oh, silver hit 67 today. That was impressive. And then you had the big story that I thought was insane was platinum. Now, of course, gold's 4,000, hovering around 4,300. It's been kind of hitting that mark. And everybody's talking about silver. Nobody's talking about platinum. Platinum went above $1,700. Now, I used to buy a lot of platinum because I knew that platinum's 100 times more rare than gold. And I always figured that someday platinum would have its day. And that it would catch up with gold. And then, of course, I bought into palladium. Lost a lot of money on that one. Palladium, if you don't recall, it went way up, probably where the price is for gold right now. And we're just gonna have to get this on the video. I'm gonna turn around, but I just want to show you what this looks like. Just take a look. Completely dry. This is a swamp, or it used to be. Let's look at the other side. Look over here. That's crazy. All right, I got the mosquitoes on me again. Let's just get some scenery videos on the way back, and we'll make this a nice short video.
I now recognize Mr. Mike Howell for 5 minutes for his opening statement.
Members of the subcommittee, thank you for the opportunity to testify about the role of NGOs or non-governmental organizations in facilitating mass illegal immigration. I currently serve as the executive director of the Oversight Project and previously was at DHS and on Capitol Hill conducting oversight of immigration matters. The United States of America is still reeling from the worst border invasion in its history. This was an invasion that was planned, promoted, encouraged, funded, and sustained by radical elements of the previous administration. But this invasion could not have been accomplished without a colossal partnership with the NGO community. Simply put, the government just did not have the capacity to get this many people in and around the country without the support of the nonprofits. And to that end, they gave them almost $6 billion to a conglomerate of UN agencies and over 200 NGOs to do just that, according to statistics from the Center for Immigration Studies. The result was that Border Patrol became a daycare. They became Uber drivers just to shuttle illegals to the nonprofits to get them around the country. Now, the Oversight Project has led the way in exposing what I call this border industrial complex. In December of 2022, we did the first of its kind study where we tracked illegal aliens by their cell phones as they went through these nonprofits at the border. In just a 1 month period, in tracking 30,000 devices, so a very small subset of the 10 million that Biden had crossed the border, we found out that the illegals went to nearly every single congressional district in the United States. We proved that every town was indeed a border town.
You know, as we get the scenery video on the way back here, I forgot a couple of things. I mean, I've been talking in the videos about the video studio and how things continue. And by the way, I mean, having a laptop with 2 M2 drives is very important, I'm going to tell you. But one of the things, the tools that I used to use was CCleaner. I don't know what the hell happened to this Paraform. Anyway, I won't even put the link down below because I quit using their tools because they sold out to corporate America. And you can hardly even use the tool anymore because they've disabled a lot of the functionality. And then it harasses the hell out of you. It pops up every 10 minutes and says, do you want to buy CCleaner? Do you want to buy CCleaner? You know, and I'm like, oh, hell no, man. Well, anyway, I'll put in the description. And by the way, I'm going to keep doing this with the videos to give you computer tips, all right? So Windows has a cleaner tool. And I didn't really know it's called Disk Cleanup. And I put it on the desktop now. I just kind of click on it from time to time. Man, before I came out here, I ran that tool. It cleaned over 1 gigabyte of garbage off of my my disk drive. I didn't even know I had 1 gigabyte of garbage. And then what I'm using instead of CCleaner, and I'm sure you've probably heard of this. Remember Hillary Clinton when she used a hammer on her hard drives and never went to jail, as we saw up front? You got BleachBit, and BleachBit runs on both Linux and Windows. Now it's somewhat inconvenient. I'm still playing with the settings on it because it will erase my passwords with whatever browser that is that I'm using. And then I have to go back and re-log into everything, which is a pain in the ass. But you know, as long as you only run it about once every month or two, you know, you don't really care. But it does, it picks up where the Windows Cleaner tool left off. And then it erased another gigabyte or so. So even though I have on the laptop 2 terabytes of disk space, you know, gaining back 2 gigabytes and plus, you know, you don't know what's in those temporary files and stuff. There could be all kinds of malware and viruses and everything. It's good to clean your computer from time to time. Windows is the worst. You know, Linux, well, the same thing. You still got to clean up all the temporary files. And that's where BleachBit, in my mind, is the only tool. Now, one thing we'll be doing a video here on soon is I use for my backups now. And in fact, that's what I was doing before I came out here to get a little bit of exercise and stop at Walmart and pick up some groceries. I use WinMerge. If you haven't heard of that tool, it's called WinMerge. I think it's called winmerge.com or org. I don't know where the website is. I'll put it in the description. And what I do is I'll put I keep USB drives as backup devices, and then I'll compare all the stuff I've been doing on the laptop to what's on the USB drive, and then you can sit there and you can pick and choose what you want to copy back and forth. That's why I don't like automatic backup tools like FBackup or whatever you're using, or, you know, let's say Google Drive, or if you want to be on the cloud, I wouldn't recommend it, but, you know, a lot of people back up to the cloud. But anyway, so yeah, I use WinMerge, and then I sit there and I look at the files and I go, yeah, I'm going to copy this left, copy left, right, copy right, left, depending on which way you're going, you know, and where the file was. Well, I got to find the equivalent in Linux, and I think it's called MELD, M-E-L-D. I have yet to play with it, but we'll talk about that in a future video, because the whole goal of all of this is to duplicate everything that I'm doing in Windows in Linux Mint 22.2. Also, I didn't know if you knew Kali Linux, which is a hacking tool. Check out the board. See, they actually maintain this pretty good. You got new wood over here. I just wanted to show you that. I guess somebody must have stepped right through that. Who knows, man? Like I said, all dry, completely dry. So anyway, as we continue to make Linux work, so Kali Linux, which is the hacker's paradise, it comes with Wireshark, all of the hacking tools. They dropped a new version, and I downloaded that. And then you've got Ubuntu, which just dropped, well, a while back, actually. They've got their long-term version, which is what Linux Mint 22.2 is based on. But they also have a new version, can't remember, 2310, I think is what it is. And what Ubuntu does is they have a long-term version, and then they have a short-term version. So a lot of people like to stick with the short-term version. I mean, if you got a laptop or a computer that you don't really care about, you can just keep refreshing it with the latest Ubuntu version if you like Ubuntu. Like I said, I'm a kind of a Mint fanatic. You know, someday I'd love to see somebody picnicking on that table down here in the swamp. I mean, it's great that they put a picnic table here, but the problem is, even at this time of the year, you get the mosquitoes. And look over here at this tree. That's crazy, isn't it? Just uprooted right out of the swamp. So that's kind of the latest. By the way, I did some research, Handbrake. All right, so I was talking about flat packs yesterday, and I got with Grok again, and Grok says, you know, the best way to install Handbrake on Linux Mint is with the flat pack, and you can do that through the software manager. So you can see we're kind of moving one application at a time. First I had to get Thunderbird, which is my email client, up and running, and I put all of the Outlook stuff in the last video. I told you about the problems there, that they're using a new authentication method. And then, of course, we had to get DaVinci Resolve. That was one hell of a project. We got that working. And then, of course, OBS Studio, that required a lot of work. You don't use a flat pack for OBS Studio. I was going to, because I wanted it sandboxed, but DaVinci Resolve recommended against that. And then I've talked about the browsers. It's called LibreWolf, by the way. I think that's what it's called. And that's one of the browsers that I installed. So we got 4 browsers going. Then you got to go in and configure the settings on the browsers, and you got to configure the settings on Linux Mint. So, you know, it's one last thing. This is something I forgot to tell you about. Was one of the things I don't like about the case that I bought is the USB ports, and I don't know why they did it this way. I guess it's just how the case was engineered. The USB ports on the bottom of the case. Let's look over here. God, I can't believe how dry it is. Whew, I'll be happy to get back to the car. So what I thought about is, okay, you know, when I make a video, obviously I've got this is my camera. I have to, you know, upload these videos from the camera to the server, and plugging the phone into the bottom of the case. You know, I'm an old dude, man. I don't want to get down on my hands and knees and plug it in, you know, every single time. Well, what I bought is I've got, well, I had the extension cable from a USB-A port to a USB-C port to the phone, and I just keep it plugged into the bottom of the case now. But the problem is how do you plug a USB drive? Because the case actually has another USB-A port on the bottom, and it has a USB-C port on the bottom. And so I went to Amazon and I said, you know, is there like a 3-foot cable that I can buy that, you know, because you got to go female to female, all right? Because your USB drive has a male extension. So anyway, so yeah, turns out there's a cable, and it's 3 foot long, and it's actually gold plated, which is crazy. And I picked up 2 3-foot cables for $8 damn. So now I can plug a USB drive into the server and not have to get down on my hands and knees and plug it in. So just trying to give you some advice, you know, on how you can keep whittling away at your computer setup, and eventually you're going to get it where everything is super convenient, everything works perfectly, and you'll be good to go. All right, if we get into some more news on the way back, I'm just going to chill out. If not, peace out, stay free, and here's another rendition of Trump Don't Care.
What is the state of the union right now? What does Trump need to do tonight versus what do you predict he does?
Well, I think the state of the union is very bad right now. When you look at what was promised in 2024, it was supposed to be a golden age, no new wars, close the border, all this sort of stuff. And I think everybody realizes at this point that that has not happened. And it doesn't even seem that the administration is trying very hard. And what's sad about it is it seems that the administration doesn't even know where to go after this. As you said, it is an objective fact. It's not subjective opinion. It's not black pilling. The administration has its lowest approval since Trump got back into office. I think it's down to 39%. That's one of the lowest numbers we've had since the first term. And you see that the administration seems to not really know how to bounce back. And we talked about it shortly after the off-year election back in November. Trump administration is totally fumbling from one thing after the next, flopping around with the Epstein files. Then you had the Marjorie Taylor Greene leaving Congress. Now you have this post about Rob Reiner, who was brutally murdered at his home in Hollywood. And these are all things that not only are they not winning back the whole country, let's say like the middle or the coalition that propelled Trump into office in 24, but it's even losing Trump's most virile supporters, his biggest and loudest supporters, people like Marjorie Greene. Why is she not on the team? People that wanted transparency on Epstein files. Why are they not on the coalition? And, you know, stuff like that post on True Social. I don't know anybody that likes that. I don't know anybody that thinks that's acceptable. So
well, let's be clear.
The
We
administration,
love Trump attacking powerful globalists like Hillary, saying he'll be in prison. But it's an obvious no-brainer. I put a video out saying I was sad he was dead, because I genuinely was, even though I didn't like Rob Reiner and he'd gotten me deplatformed and celebrated it and been involved with Brennan doing it. I said he was still a talented guy. I'm sorry he's dead. But even from a cynical view, say something nice about a man and woman brutally murdered by their son. Like, it's the dumbest move. So you have to ask about a 79-year-old Trump. I don't think it's dementia. I don't think he's, you know, but regardless, he's making very bad decisions. I mean, that is just as a microcosm. What a crazy PR decision.
well, he's floundering. He's floundering. And I think, like we talked about last time, sadly, it seems like he has fully engaged the old playbook, which is that he's in trouble. He knows he's in trouble. The approval ratings are down. His base seems to be leaving him a little bit. And whenever that happens, he always doubles down on mean tweets. let's say, as a category. Not necessarily a mean post on Twitter, although that is how it is expressed and how it manifests. But he doubles down on cruelty, culture war, laying into his enemies, ranting on television. And that used to be a playbook that worked, I think, back in the first administration or even in that first election in 2016. But now it seems like he sort of lost his touch. It's kind of tone deaf. Whereas at one time, he was bringing that fight against, like you said, the globalists, somebody like Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama. Who's he attacking now? Now it's anybody that wanted Epstein files. Now it's Marjorie Greene, who is one of his people, who was like one of the first MAGA congressmen that rode that wave.
She made
after
that
his
point
original.
yesterday. It's on record. She's right. He has all these Republicans in that vote against him, but they kiss his ass, and then she votes 98% of the time with him, but warns him, and then he turns on her and calls her a traitor. That is so stupid, and it hurt him bad in the polls. Like, that's dumb.
Bricks hoarding 663 tons in 9 months flat. 91 billion in gold while our dollar goes splat. Central banks stacking vaults, de-dollarizing the game, laughing at sanctions as they bury our name. Homelessness spiked 18%, 770K on the street. Veterans freezing in tents, no home, no heat. Kids starving, heroes shattered, suicides climbing the chart. 72% higher risk, breaking our hearts. Families torn, veterans lost to the fight inside. While billions vanish overseas, where the fucking pride? Audits by the dip, we eat the shit. America last, admit it, you hypocrite. Before we fix it, lock 'em all up, drain the swamp deep, but the betrayal's complete. We're losing sleep. Blondie guards the gate, Brick takes the gold. Hats burned to ashes, veterans out in the cold. Heroes suffering, dying alone. Fuck this shit, burn it all. Trump don't care, Trump don't care, Trump don't care. He keeps breathing that warmongering air. Trump don't care, don't care. Your elites don't care. Dollar dies, let's cry. Suicides everywhere. Stack the gold, fuck the wars. No one cares. Trump don't care. Burn it down as the ashes settle and the dollar bleeds out. Bricks hoarding 663 tons in 9 months flat. 91 billion in gold while our dollar goes splat. Central banks stacking vaults, de-dollarizing the game, laughing at sanctions as they bury our name. Homelessness spiked 18%, 770K on the street. Veterans freezing in tents, no home, no heat. Kids starving, heroes shattered, suicides climbing the chart. 72% higher risk, breaking our hearts. Families torn, veterans lost to the fight inside. While billions vanish overseas, stuck in fucking pride. Lights by the dip, we eat the shit. America last, admit it, you hypocrite. Before we fix it, lock 'em all up, drain the swamp deep, but the betrayal's complete. We're losing sleep. Gandhi guards the gate, Brick takes the gold. Hats burned to ashes, veterans out in the cold. Heroes suffering, dying alone. Fuck this shit, burn it all. Trump don't care, Trump don't care, Trump don't care. He keeps breathing that warmongering nail cold air. Trump don't care, he leads the cold. Sabotage, fake crime, suicides everywhere. Falling heads, stack the gold. Fuck the wars, no one cares. Trump don't care, burn it down. As the ashes settle and the dollar bleeds out, but the gates are wide open, the floods roll in, while our warriors run for contact.